What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot, and today we want to talk about 7 Transformers that need to be reissued. These 7 Transformers are figures that came out, some in selects, some in the main line of Transformers, that are still popular in a lot of minds of collectors because they've been trying to pick these up. A lot of times when we see a figure that we want and we're trying to get other figures, sometimes we just overlook what we don't want to get right away, and maybe we'll come back to it. During the course of time of collecting, sometimes we forget what we're supposed to get, and then it hits us one day like, oh, I need to go and get this figure, and then we turn around and look, and it's gone, and then we think we can hit up eBay, only to find out that the price has gone up significantly because of scalping and people just understanding the dynamics of collecting. I don't get mad at scalpers. That's just the nature of the business. It is what it is. It's up to the company to maybe fix that. Other than that, sometimes you just have to deal with the customers. So we're going to start with the figures that I thought were the most prevalent. First is the Super Megatron. Now, of course, this is a remold of the Titans Return and Legends Galvatron, but the retooling gives him a nice Megatron look. The only downside with this figure is that sometimes it comes with 2 of the wrong size tank treads, and I know PPR had an issue with that. But other than that, this is one of the figures that's now gone up into about the hundreds. But now we're going to talk about the worst one. And this is from the Seacons. Now, these 2 you saw pictured earlier in the video. Yes, these 2 right here are the hardest to get. I don't know what happened because I was late with getting the Seacons, and I have 4 of them, but I don't have these 2. So we're going to start with Overbite, and we're going to look at some of the pictures of Overbite just because, but still, I know for a fact that a lot of people would love to see this be reissued because the prices are bizarre. I mean, I paid maybe $250 for the 4 that I have directly from Hasbro, but this time around for Overbite by himself, because I believe he was short pack, is going to go for $200 or sometimes more. Right now, a good sale on this is getting this at around $100 to $150, and I have not seen it go for less than $200. If you have the funds and you can get them, I would buy them. But Hasbro needs to seriously, or Takara seriously reissue these, because I know for a fact they just sold out before people could get them. And of course, here is Tentac, and it's the same thing. I mean, these were nice remolds of repaints of the different characters, but the fact that you would have to pay even more for him let you know right there is you're going to be spending a lot of money. And Tentac again also goes for about $200, and that's even on the used side of things at times. If you're lucky, you might be able to buy the whole set, but these 2 characters are very hard to get. And I mean, it's been driving me crazy because I'm like, to literally complete the Seacons, I'm going to be spending $400 for 2 figures. That's not going to be worth it if they even decide to re-release it again. You see what I'm saying? So yes, please, Hasbro, Takara, I will ensure you that all of the collectors will be ecstatic if you release these last 2 again, because I'm not going to overpay for them. I'll substitute limbs if I have to, but I am not going to pay that much money for 2 figures when the 4 figures that I bought didn't even come close to, well, a little over half. Next is Thundercracker and Skywarp. These are now going for about $100, a little over that. These characters are very much needed because even if you omit the cone heads, you know the main 3 seekers were Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. Now, hopefully they will do something with them in SS86 and maybe retool them to have a waist swivel somewhere. But until that happens, we need to get this reissue so we can pay a decent price. At one point, it was on Amazon for a little more than what Target was selling, but a lot of people forgot about it. Now on to the other seeker that really pissed off a lot of people. So Skywarp came out as a special exclusive, excuse me, that was an Amazon exclusive. And these are pics from the Japanese version because yes, Japan did get it, but I got my copy from Amazon for $49.99. And this is during right around the pandemic era. So you know how it went, pre-orders got destroyed. The same thing with Ironhide and Prowl. I did not include Prowl in this list because I already did a video about Prowl. Like I said, for the fact that we got the Siege Seekers and we got Thundercracker and Starscream at normal retail, but the fact that we can't use the actual Skywarp coloration you have to go out and get a substitute, which some people have been using Hotlink, which I have no problem with Hotlink, but the QC on Hotlink has been kind of roughshod, and I have 2 of them. All right, so we're going to look at pictures of this real quick because I was very fortunate and lucky to be able to get this at the retail price of $49.99. It came with these 2 extra, what do they call these things? I guess they were mini cons in Siege. I can't remember what they were called, but you know, they turn into weapons, and then you get that guy and the other guy. I'm sorry I forgot their names. I just do. I can't remember everything, but you can sound off in the comments. And of course, you get this guy. So you got a decent amount with some blast effects and other things like that, but it really does need to be reissued. Next is Thrust. This was a Target exclusive, and I'm going to tell you right now, I did not see him in the stores at all. Everybody else was finding him, but he didn't make his way to the stores here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I paid a slight late tax with someone on eBay who was charging about $60 for him, with the shipping and all that stuff. He didn't really make any money, but you know, scalpers are idiots, so they do what they got to do. I paid $60 for him. I'm not complaining about that because I know right now this guy goes for at least $150, and for the Skywarp loose, you will be paying about $100, and for the Siege Skywarp, you might be paying almost over $200, and one complete in box even used goes for well over $200. So, and I know I didn't include green light, but that's because y'all know that's not, you don't even want to talk about green light. They're never going to reissue that because that was just a regular figure, and those, you know, part of Power to Primes that got thrown into Siege. Now, last is Breakdown. And this is a travesty that Breakdown is like short pack. Not only that, he got the short end of the stick over the budget, where he was basically just a repaint and slight remold over Wild Rider. And I think that was probably a double travesty. Then on top of that, in order to get the damn figure, he was hard to get. I got lucky. I got him from some weird scalper who was only charging $40 for him. And that was shipped. So, you know, I kind of just chalked it up. Yeah, I had to spend another $15, but now he's going for well over $100 for a little small deluxe figure. And because he's needed to complete Menasor, it's been kind of really hard for people to get this. I'm going to be honest with you. A third party makes this, use the same mold, but kind of correct the car sculpt to make it look more Lamborghini, man, I wouldn't even worry about getting this. But like I said, third party's just not touching this. No gentleman's agreement. They're just not going to touch it. So overall, these are 7 characters that I think we need to have reissued, because I know the availability, the time, how long they have been out, and how, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they have to be a market for the reissue form. And I think for a lot of people not being able to get them, all these figures in this list, I know for a fact, a lot of collectors would buy these. And I know if they released them again, that a lot of collectors would spend their money to get it. So Hasbro, neither Takara would lose out on anything if they had these in like a backstock, or even if they went back and just made them again just for people. Every one of those figures, if they were at retail price, would sell. And so it happens. I'm not going to blame Hasbro or Takara. It's not their fault per se. We can't always blame them for everything. Sometimes we got to do our due diligence and just be stepping up to get our figures when we need to get them. And if we miss out, then it's really our fault, no matter how you slice it. But a lot of people will never take the blame, you know, well, that's on you. You know, but for me, I know when I can't get something, it's not my fault. So what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. It is my fault. It's Super Robot Ed, bringing more news reviews to them. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.